Finding help. My name is Emma. I'm 38 years old and the mother of three wonderful sons, Leo, Finn, and Max. They are the most important people in my life. My love for them is endless. Life has presented challenges. My father passed away when I was a teenager. My partner left when our youngest son was only a few months old. He simply left and never contacted us again. No calls, no support, as if we never existed. Since then, I have been raising my three boys on my own. I don't have family nearby to help, no big savings, and we live in a small apartment in the town of Oakhaven. Every month the rent is due, and every month I worry. I don't have a high-paying job or a university degree, so my options are limited. However, I'm strong and I never give up. I work as a gardener. I don't work for a big company. I find work by myself. Each week, I look for gardens that need care. I bring my own tools and I work hard all day, often until the sun goes down. I plant flowers, trim bushes, and gather leaves. Some people are kind and offer me a warm drink. Others are not so friendly. And sometimes people are late with their payments, but I keep working. I garden because I need to earn money for food, for clothes for my sons, and to pay the rent. I work even when I'm tired, even when I have a cold, even when I feel like crying. Sometimes I watch my sons as they sleep. They look so peaceful and so handsome. I gently touch their small feet and kiss their hair. I whisper, I love you. I want to give them a good life. I want them to be happy and have opportunities I never had. But life can be difficult. One rainy afternoon, I was walking my sons home after finishing a long day of work. The weather was awful. The sky was gray, the rain was coming down hard, and the sidewalks were slippery. Leo held my hand tightly, while Finn and Max stayed close behind. "Mama, I'm wet," Max said. He was only 4 years old. "I know, sweetie," I said. "We'll be home soon." I pulled him closer and adapted his little raincoat. The street was quiet and the street lights were dim in the rain. I held my son's hands tightly. I felt a little scared. Then, suddenly, a loud noise, a flash of light, and a sharp pain. Everything went dark. When I opened my eyes, I saw a white ceiling. I heard soft beeping sounds and smelled a clean, sharp scent. I was in a hospital room. I tried to sit up, but my whole body ached. Then the memory of the accident came back to me. My sons, where were they? I tried to speak. Leo, Finn, Max. My voice was dry. My throat hurt. A nurse came to me. She looked kind and smiled gently. "Don't move too much," she said. "You were in a bad accident." "My sons," I whispered. "Where are my sons?" She touched my hand softly. They are here. They are safe. Tears filled my eyes. I want to see them. A few minutes later, the door opened. 3 small figures ran into the room. "Mama," they cried. They hugged me, held my hands, and kissed my face. I started crying and held them as tightly as I could. The doctor came into the room. He looked serious. He had bad news. "You have a broken leg," he said. "You need surgery. You need time to get better." I felt scared. I have to work. I have to pay rent. I have to feed my sons. The doctor looked sad. "You need to rest," he said. Then I remembered something worse. The gardening tools I borrowed from a neighbor were broken in the accident, and the worst part, I had accidentally damaged the front window of a fancy shop when I fell. The owner wanted $20,000. I had nothing. I was broken. I covered my face with my hands and cried. My sons held me. They cried too. I felt lost. I had no hope. The next day, something unexpected happened. My story was shared online. People read about me. People saw pictures of my sons. They saw how much I was suffering. Many kind people sent money. They wanted to help me. Then one day, I got a phone call. A deep voice spoke. "I heard your story," he said. "I want to help you." I was afraid. "Who are you?" "You will see soon," he said. 2 days later, a group of people came to the hospital. They brought flowers and warm clothes for my sons. Then a young man walked in. He had kind eyes. He looked at me and smiled. He sat next to me. "You don't know me," he said, "but I know you." I was confused. "Why do you want to help me?" He smiled. "Because I can." I started crying. I don't know what to say. He touched my hand. "You don't have to say anything." A few days later, something unbelievable happened. The young man and his team paid for my hospital bills. I didn't have to worry anymore. But that was not all. One day they took me and my sons to a new place. It was a house, a big, beautiful house. "This is for you," they said. I stared at them. I couldn't speak. I couldn't breathe. "For me," I whispered. "Yes," they said. "You don't have to pay rent anymore. This is your home." I fell to my knees. I cried and cried. My sons cried too. They hugged me. "Is this real?" I asked. "Yes," they said. "This is real." I held my sons and whispered, "We have a home." One day, the young man asked me, "What is your biggest dream?" I wiped my tears. "I want to open a small plant shop." He smiled. "Then let's make it happen." And he did. A few months later, I opened my own little plant shop. It had green plants, colorful flowers, and happy customers. I was no longer a struggling gardener. I was no longer a poor mother. I was a businesswoman. I was strong. I was happy. I will never forget that young man. He changed my life. He taught me something important. There are kind people in this world. There are people who want to help, and sometimes miracles are real. Thank you so much, everyone who has been following along. Your support truly means the world to me. I hope this story has moved you. Please remember that even when life is very difficult, being kind and having hope can make a big difference. Keep your strength, trust in good people, and always believe that things can get better in the future.